Alright, I just like to say that this video is taking a lot of guts for me to do because, as you can see, I'm not wearing makeup right now. So what I'm going to do today is take you through how I cover up my acne scarring. And you can see it like right in here, and then there's still already some like stuff that's still healing. I don't have great skin, and this has been something I've struggled with since I was like 15, and it's gotten better and worse at different times in my life depending on I've taken different kinds of medication. I've just had less stressful phases in my life, I guess, and right now it's, I guess, kind of stressful, or it was a few months ago when I was still looking for a job. So I'm going to take you through how I cover up. I've already applied my under eye concealer, and I usually do a little bit more, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to be doing it. I use the Neutrogena 3-in-1 concealer for eyes. It's a concealer eye cream and has SPF 20 in it. I find my eye circles to be the least of my troubles. So the first thing I do is I prime with the Fix and Perfect, and I've already primed like my nose and stuff, but I'll take the little bit of the primer, and I'll either use my hand after I've washed it with an antibacterial soap, or I will use a sponge. And I try to make them fresh sponges every time I use them. So I'll just kind of cover up my trouble areas. And like I said, I've already actually covered up other areas. It's getting a little bit more, because you can see it's even like down on my jawline. Maybe got a little bit much, but oops. And I just did my video on Rimmel Fix and Perfect, and it is my favorite primer that I've tried out of like 2 of them. So now that I've got all my acne covered up, I always reach for my Maybelline Mineral Power concealer, and my color is cream. It's a fairly light color. And then I just kind of dot it on top of the blemishes. And I know a lot of people actually conceal after they put their foundation on. Well, I do too. I do both. Because this is something that I'm actually really self-conscious about. So I just try to find all my blemishes and imperfections and attack them with this little stick. Okay, once that's done, concealer on acne round 1, I tap it lightly so as not to remove all the product. If I'm like scrubbing hard on it, it won't really make sense to put it on there. And I always use my index finger, my ring finger, because I learned at a Mary Kay party a few years ago that it's the least strong finger on your body. Or hand, you know, I have fingers everywhere, like coming out of my belly button. Okay, so I just do this to both sides. Trying to make sure it's fairly blended, but not completely, because we'll get back to it. Okay, and then my next step is I take my Bare Naturale L'Oreal Bare Mineral makeup, and I take it all over. And I just kind of do it in a circular manner. And I clean these. Like, with my acne, I clean everything. Like, I clean my face brushes, like, all the time. And I clean this every time I clean my brushes, just because I feel like I'm spreading bacteria all over my life. And when I use sponges for, like, my primer and for my concealer, because I sometimes use, instead of using my finger, I'll use a sponge. I use them like once and then they're in the garbage because I don't want to spread bacteria all over my life. Okay. So, once all my foundation is blended and in, I reach back for my Maybelline Mineral Power Concealer. And then I just kind of see where it's the worst. Like, that one's a fresh little bugger, as is this one. The more red ones usually need a little bit more. Okay, and then I just repeat the blending step. And unfortunately, I haven't found a way to completely erase the acne, but this I think makes it look a ton better. You saw me before, you see me now. I think it's better. At least I hope you think it's better. If you have any tips or suggestions on what you do to cover up your acne or your blemishes, I would love to hear them. I'm always looking for new ideas. If you have a really great concealer that you don't think it'll break me out, because I have very sensitive skin in some respects, some not so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and that you're being good to yourselves.